Hey guys, I hope everyone is good. It's snowing here, and just thought I'd hop on right quick for a little while. Just thought I'd talk about how important keeping contact with family and your friends, and just staying in touch. Um, Family is is most important, and you have to um, always remember that they'll always have your back no matter what, and you just gotta, you know, um, that's what I learned that when you put your heart into like different organizations, or if you're part of something that if you've been with a place for a long time, and it just doesn't turn out. I mean, when you first start out, everything is going well, and you find your goal, and you find your place. You find a place where people will understand, um, and you're thinking that things will work out, but sometimes that's not the case. Um, and then, like you said, I mean, there's so many changes, that occur um, when you're at with a place for a number of years, and things kind of change, and I kind of I've seen that. The people change, the outlook changes, people leave, new people come in, and it's just kind of throws everything off, how from what you can remember from when you first started. But I think that, when a person is told to, when you have people that you want to keep in contact with, um, and someone says, or if they say, well, we don't think you should stay friends with that individual, that's a detriment. You have to um, be very, very careful with how a person talks to people, because the tongue is a very dangerous weapon, and when a person says you know things that are of detriment, it has an effect. It it's words have meaning, and actions have meaning as well. So, and with the two, it could be good or bad, but make sure it's the good thing. Make sure you're uplifting people. Make sure you're encouraging them, and make sure that they are um, in a good position. You know, give them a sense of purpose, and let them grow, and let them, have a voice, because it's very important to allow a person, to have a voice, and let them speak, their mind and how they feel. So, um, Yeah. So I just was thinking about. Hello, William. Anando, thank you. Welcome. I was just talking about the importance of, like treating people right and how words and actions have an impact. And if a person, says, something negative, it has a negative reaction. If they say something positive, it has a positive reaction. And it's important to, keep the positive. Um, and encourage people, to, be who they are, and meet them where they are and uplift them. Make sure that, he or she, um, is, doing, well, kind of say, hello, how are you? Reaching out is the main thing, is that's the key, is reaching out to one another and seeing how everyone is doing, because everyone, they have feelings, they have concerns, and here in YT, it's very important to help one another grow and flourish, and and make sure each and every one, has, they're doing well, and then vice versa. So we help one another. Um, the worst thing to do is, gossip, um, belittle people, um, or ignore them, and I've experienced that, you know, out, in real life and here in YT. So I know that feeling, and that's the worst feeling to have, is when you enter a channel, to greet people, and you're totally ignored, um, or if they imply that, they'll say, well, can you leave? Things like that. That's very, very um, hurtful. And hello, Adini. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so here in YT, it's a very important thing, is to help one another, encourage one another, um, and just, make sure everyone is um, recognized, him or her, and what I do is, when I'm when I go to different channels, I try to make it a effort to address people individually and see how they're doing, um, and so, and then make sure that everyone is acknowledged, if you will, and I've had, you know a good year. It'll be a year in March since I've, started YT, and I've been blessed, and I have a strong support system with my family here in Minnesota, and as well as in YT, and I am very grateful. So, the point I'm making is to listen to others and see what their take is on how, if you're in a situation where, if you go to like a channel, what have you, or just, in general or in life, you run across where a person is having a bad day. My suggestion is just to, listen to their story, and and let them, say what, they need to say. Um, and listen. That's very, very important. Um, it's happened to me, where someone would listen, and or if I go to a channel like I did today, um, where I found myself singing, singing my Filipino songs that I've recorded, and I was very humbled, and I just thought about hello. Oh, Yang, welcome, thank you, sis, appreciate you. All right. Yes, and I was singing the Filipino songs, and and everything turned out for the better. I ended up meeting new people, and we we exchanged ideas, and we talked about things, and we bonded, and that's very important, especially now in the way things are. Is very important to recognize everyone, and be cognizant and be there, you know, when the time is given. And that has happened to me. And I remember, like when I was a kid, and when I was growing up, how people have encouraged me, and they've given me um, life lessons. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about teachers, and friends, and so it comes from like the family. You have a strong family, a secure family. You have security, and you have a strong. Um, I'm not going to forget. Okay, church as well. If you have a strong church home, and the if you're involved with church, I'm involved with church. I feel that's extremely important. And as I'm kind of going backwards, I'm going to go back and say, like, having a when you were in school, having instructors who really cared about um, if you made it, if you have the life skills that will um, prepare you for life. Um, I was fortunate to be part of a program where they took us. I was in high school, and we would go to the university um, in the next city, and we would learn about different trades and different careers. If you wanted to be a doctor, um, you could look into that particular field, or if you wanted to be a scientist, you could look into that particular field. So what we would do is we would go to these different different classes, and the different like the science classes, and found out what it would take to be a scientist, or a doctor. And it started from like the basics up until through like for being a doctor, you have your 4 years of college, and then you have an extension of you have to go to like medical school, and like things like that. So it's like how I learned was more hands-on, um and that's the way I learned. Hello, my friends, welcome, good to see you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a jacket. All right. Yeah, so I am blessed. I learned that it's very important to meet people where they are. And just in it, it really it kind of I've had this happen. I've been in a situation where I met someone and I had a flashback of, when I was in a particular situation where someone helped me, um, get to where I am, or overcome a particular, situation or a problem that I was having. Um, and that's very, important, is to, surround oneself with positive, people, and people who are caring, who care about your interests. Because for myself, that was the case, and it still is. Um, and encouraging one to keep going, and um, if if you have a particular gift, um, have someone who will help you cultivate that gift, and root it out. um, I was blessed, to have those experiences, and it has helped. I was, when I was in school, I was in special ed. It was a different, way of learning. Um, the instructors did things differently than they did in a normal classroom setting. Um, for example, we had more time to take tests. Um, we did more hands-on things, like, for example, we did a mock of a like a restaurant, and we would serve food, you know like an actual restaurant. So it was a different learning structure, but it helped us learn about how to live in everyday society, and kind of preparing us for that. And that's how I learned. um And then, when I got graduated from high school, I went to community college. And, I learned that, with, community college, it's a stepping stone, to to a career that you're looking for, whether it's being a doctor or a lawyer, or whatever it might be. Uh, the junior college is kind of a preparatory school. At least when I was going, it kind of gave you like the basic coursework, so you could move on to another college, uh, of school, or a school of learning. So so what I did was I took cooking classes. I went culinary arts, and I did that for like 2 years. I learned making salads, baking, um, and making drinks. Like, not alcoholic drinks, but I mean, like, different drinks, like teas, smoothies, and so things of that nature. So it was more hands on for my. That's how I learn. I learn more hands on, and it's a totally different way that I've learned differently from others. Um, it was more focused, it kind of helped me, to find a niche, and it wasn't, in college. I didn't find my niche in college, but it was after after college, I found my niche with photography. And so once I learned about photography, I had a friend, family friend, and my uncle who helped me with the basics. And learning the basics is very key with photography. Um, you like how to light exposure in photography, and distance, and things like that. Um, how in whether and then what time of day to take photographs, where to take photographs, and what subject matter that you want to take pictures of. Um, so things like that. And I learned better, just doing hands on. Um, like when I took a course with in computers, and I don't know like the technology of the computer, but I know enough, to actually operate the computer, by trial and error. But I did take courses, classes, in the computer field. And I took those, after I took those classes, I integrated that in my daily life. So that's where where the transfer comes in. You make the transfer to your everyday life, and you kind of mix those your skill set, mix that, put that in everyday life, and it helps. I learned about getting around on the bus. Um, I couldn't tell you like about directions per se, but I could show you how to get from point A to point B. And so, and I've done it so for so many years that um, I don't really have to think about it. Sometimes I have to refer to a map or like, with the apps, for the bus. But as a rule, I can pretty much find my way to a particular destination. And same with traveling. That's a challenge, you know, you know, but I was, willing to um, travel, and been, out west, I've been out east by train, um, flown, I've been to Canada. Um, so yeah, I did it solo. And doing it solo is a lot more difficult, um, and more challenging than if you, as opposed to doing it if you're going with a tour group or with someone else. Um, if you're going with a tour group, you have that. Um, you pay for your tour, and and then it's a little bit easier. And the same with if you're going with another person. Um, with another person, you can split the hotel bill, other costs, associated with the trip, and you kind of split it down the middle, and you talk about it, talk about the plans, and things like that. So overall, um, what everything in a nutshell, it's all about the life lessons. And so I just want to thank everyone here in YT for, helping me, you know, become who I am. Um, as a content creator, and I am very appreciative of each and every one of you for what you bring to YT and your expertise. And um, so I just wanted to just hop on and say thank you once again for a great year. And it will be, I think it's second week of March when I first started. So I want to thank each and every one of you for, um, being here and, getting to know who I am as a content creator. And I have the honor of, knowing whom you are. And so I really appreciate that. I want to thank everyone in YT world for all that you do. Um, Thank you for having taking the time to help me get started and having the patience, to help me understand the ins and outs of YT and and how to improve being a content creator. Um, that's a very it's everything's evolving and everything is changing, and it's the most important thing is to kind of keep up with things and find out what has changed, and just um, it's just all about kind of keeping up with things. So thank you everyone for giving me reminders, giving me advice, um, and sharing your expertise here in YT. So, everyone, thank you so much for all that you do. And I hope each and every one of you has a great day or great evening. And I will see you on the next live stream. Thank you so much and and take care. Salamat.